Alright, let's understand flex container properties. The flex container properties accept 7 different properties that are display, flex direction, flex wrap, flex flow, justify content, align items and align content. All these different property works differently. So first of all, let's check out about the display property that we have already seen one example about the display property. So what display property does? The display property is to activate the flexbox job. Remember in the previous video I have already mentioned that without setting the display flex rule, we cannot make use of flexbox properties and values. So this is the property from where the real magic starts. And the display property accepts two different values. One is display flex and another is inline flex. So first let's check out display flex here. So I have here a container and inside this we have different box. So for the container, let's say here display flex. Now save the file and check out a page here. Great, we can see here the items are coming in the horizontal direction, or you can say is coming one by one. That's the default flexbox model. Alright, let's apply border to our container here first. 10px solid black. Now save the file and check out our page here. As we can see, our container is starting from the left end and ending at the right end of the page. That's the flex. And another we have inline flex value for the display property. So now let's apply inline flex also. Now save the file and check out our page here once again. Now we can see the container is taking the space according to the item it is wrapping inside it. So the difference between flex and inline flex is the same difference what we have for block and inline. The flex is similar to the block, that means the item will take whole horizontal space or whole available width, but at the same time we have inline flex, that means inline flex is similar to the inline that will take the space according to the content it wraps. So here this is our inline flex, that's why it is not taking the whole available space. So now let's get back into again normal, that is flex here. Save our file and check out our page here. That's actually flex here. We will stick to the flex value only. Next we have flex direction property. Flex direction property determines the direction of the item in which they will lay down. By default, when we say display flex, all the items line up horizontally or left to right, we can say. But inside the flexbox zone, saying horizontally will be wrong, because inside the flexbox model we have axis. We have main axis and we have cross axis. So what are these axes? The main axis in the flexbox model is the primary axis along which the items are laid out in the flex container. By default, main axis feels like horizontal direction or left to right, as we have seen here. So by default, this is our main axis. On the other hand, we have cross axis. Cross axis goes perpendicular to the main axis. The important point here is that the items always sit on the main axis, and it is not necessary that the main axis will always remain in the horizontal direction. You can anytime interchange the direction of axis with the help of flex direction property. So the flex direction properties accept 4 different values. One is row, that's the default value. Another we have column, row reverse, column reverse. So let's experiment all these values one by one. So for the flex direction property, let's say flex direction row here first. Let's check out our page here. No changes. That's the default value for the flex direction. And after the row we have another value for flex direction, that is column. Now save the file and check out our page here. As we can see here, the items are going now from top to bottom. Actually the main axis takes the place of cross axis and the cross axis takes the place of main axis. So that's why we see our main axis is going from top to bottom and our cross axis is going from left to right. And by default, items always sits on the main axis. That's why we have item from top to bottom, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Next we have row reverse for the flex direction property. So let's apply row reverse. Check out our page here. Alright, the row reverse value is similar to the row but in opposite direction. As we can see here, now our item is going from right to left. So here we can say again that the main axis is now going from right to left. By default it goes left to right, but now it goes right to left just because we made the flex direction row reverse. And another value we have for the flex direction is column reverse. You might have guessed here, the column reverse is similar to the column but in opposite direction. Now let's refresh our page. As we can see here that our item is going from bottom to top. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Alright, so here we can again say that our main axis is going from bottom to top now. From here to here. That's how we can change the direction of the axis. We can say from left to right or right to left, top to bottom or bottom to top. Alright, let's get back into normal. We want our items to flow normally, that is from left to right. Now save the file and check out our page here. Great. So everything is normal now. After the flex direction property, we have another property that is known as flex wrap. The flex wrap property determines how the flex container will accommodate if there are extra flex items inside a container. So for example, here on our page right now we have 10 items. So let's apply some width to these all items and check out how exactly it behaves. So to the box, we have a box common class for all of these items. Here we can see inside the index.html. So let's target each and every item using box class. Let's apply width, say 300 px. Now save the file and check out our page here. As we can see here, although we have applied 300 px for each and every item, the items got accommodated inside the container. I don't think so any item is getting the width of 300 px. That's the power of flexibility. That's the power of Flexbox model actually. What Flexbox model does, by default it will try to accommodate each and every item as much as it can accommodate. But at some point you may get a horizontal scroll bar if the container will not be able to accommodate. So right now we have 10 items and each and every item is having 300 width, but it is not taking. So for that purpose we have flex wrap properties. What it will do, it will wrap each and every item into new lines so that each and every item gets the exact width whatever we have applied. So let's apply flex wrap here for the container. Let's say flex wrap. By default the value for the flex wrap is no wrap. There won't be any changes here. If we refresh our page here, no changes, because now right now our item is not being wrapped inside the container. But if you want to wrap, so we can apply the value wrap here. Now if we save our file and check out our page here, we will find the difference. As we can see here now, our item is getting wrapped so that each and every item is getting 300 px of width. We have another value for the wrap flex wrap property, that is wrap reverse. So let's check out here. So wrap reverse is similar to the wrap only, but this time the item will be wrapped in a opposite direction. So that we can see now item is starting from the bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, 10. That's the wrap reverse. After the flex direction as well as flex wrap, there is one property that is known as flex flow property. The flex flow property is the shorthand property for the flex direction and flex wraps. That means the flex flow property will get the values of the flex direction as well as flex wrap. That means the flex flow property accepts two values. The first value is for the flex direction and second value is for the flex wrap. Now let's experiment that property. Right now we have flex wrap property. So instead of saying flex direction as well as flex wrap two different times, we can just say flex flow. So first let's get rid of this flex wrap property from here. Refresh, nothing is wrapping here. So now let's apply our flex flow property. So here it is, flex flow. The flex flow property, the first value will be for the flex direction. We can say row, that's the default one, and another value will be coming for the flex wrap. We can say wrap. Now save the file and check out our page here. Alright, we can see the flex flow property is applying here, the row for the direction and wrap is for the flex wrap.